This is PCBWay's website. Pretty easy to navigate. Upload your files, choose your different options, and there's a ton of them to choose from, including stencils and panelization and all that sort of stuff. Great quality product. We're going to try one of my designs with their manufacturing. We'll build it in this video, see how it goes.
This video is sponsored by PCBWay. I've used a number of different PCB manufacturers over the years, including PCBWay, and they reached out to me probably about 3 or 4 months ago and said they liked the content of the channel and could they do anything to help. So that was really nice. So this package, they made the PCBs in there on my design, and they sent it out to me, which is really nice. It says there here on the stickers that they sent out that they're celebrating 5 years. I believe that's 6 years. I think they're old stickers they sent out. But anyway, let's have a look, see what's inside, and we'll build one of them. So this one here. Oh, okay, so I don't really need to open those up because we've seen these before on the channel. So they are the 1206 or even 805 if you like, 2-dip adapters, which are really, really useful. So that's on my Tindy page as well. Unfortunately, of course, at the moment, with the current state of play with freight, they're not able to go anywhere apart from Australia, but these are really, really nice. I'm starting to use these quite a lot. And you can build whole circuits on these, and it's just, yeah, it's a really nice board. So, but we won't look at that one today. We will look at this one. So I've already opened this up, and we'll get in a bit closer and have a bit of a look at this one. So this is the LM386 amplifier board, and yeah, so it's a really quite simple one. So I have built this one on the channel before. I built it on a breadboard, and it works fine. In fact, it was providing music in our kitchen lounge room area for quite some time. So it's really, it's really quite straightforward. At the heart of it is the LM386 op amp, and I use the LM386. I think it's called the N-4, and that allows for a high voltage and also a high output. I will check, but I'm pretty sure it's around, I think it's a 1 watt that you can get out, perhaps even higher. But yes, you can put any version of the LM386 on that board. And then the rest of the circuit comes from a website which I will link in, and it's pretty straightforward. What I like about it is that it has the ability to select for both gain. It's got a bass/treble pot as well, and of course the normal volume pot. This adapter here allows you to plug in your normal phone or iPad or wherever you get your music from. All right, so let's look at the bits and pieces which we'll go and listen, and let's put it together.
Take a quick look here too at the circuit. So this has been built on the blog before, on this channel on a breadboard, and it's great. On this website there's quite a few different versions. So this is the one that does include the bass boost. So this is the one that I chose to build this circuit from.
Okay, so here's lots of bits and pieces. We'll start with the LM386, which is nowhere to be found. Oh no, here they are. So this is the LM386, and it is the N4 version. Yeah, so that one goes right here. I'll put that probably on the board via some female headers, so that just sits in and you can pull that out and replace it if need be. I might even actually end up putting a heatsink on there as well, because it can get pretty warm if you're pumping out the fat beats. So then we've got a whole heap of different types of transistors. So there's 100 nanofarad, there's 471, 471, which is actually 470 picofarad, I think, these guys. I might test that actually. Yeah, and what else have we got here? This is a 33, I think it's a 33 nanofarad, and then we've got our big 1000 microfarad capacitors, electrolytic capacitors, and there's some 10, is that 10 microfarad? That's, can't read that one through there. Oh yeah, 10 microfarad, and there's a whole heap of capacitors in here, and I'm sure there'll be 100 because that's what I'm looking for as well to complete that, because I think there's a couple of 10s and this one is 100 here. And then I'll just put that to the side. We've also got our trim pots, our potentiometers here, and we've got the knobs that go on top of that as well to make it look schmick. And this is our 2-watt 10 ohm resistors, a little adapter here for the cable. Do I have a cable? Yeah, I do. Okay, so a 3.5 millimeter cable, which goes from your music maker to the amp. Beautiful. And what else have we got? Oh, and some female headers. I think that's pretty much all we need. Oh, and a speaker. So I did manage to get hold of a speaker from a recycle shop. In fact, I got hold of 5 speakers for a princely sum of about $10, I think it was. So yeah, they're a bit beat up, but they're really heavy. I mean, I think they're good quality speakers. So amazing what people throw out, actually. So I will pull those apart. That looks like that cone in the middle might need a little bit of work, but yeah, that shouldn't be a big deal. Let's see if we can get some noise out of it. So let's test the requirements here are for specific capacitors. So we'll start with the 100 nanofarad. Plug that in. Tester says 100. Nice. Okay, and then we've got 33 nanofarad. So we'll try that. Tester says 32. Pretty good. And then we're looking at 470 picofarad. This will be interesting. Plug that one in. Tester says 472 picofarad. Nice. All right, so these ones all seem to be as labelled. So I think we're ready to start building this and putting it together. The electrolytic should be fine. I'll test them anyway. There's not too much else on it. Oh, there's a 10K resistor there, which I didn't spot. So that's a little 1/4 watt resistor, and then the big 2-watt 10 ohm. All right, let's start.
Okay, so again, I'm going to use a time lapse here. I think it's around 1 frame per second. So a build which, I don't know, probably took about 10 or 15 minutes. Ends up being about 1:30, I think. So they're the capacitors going in. I've tried different capacitors in this one, so different voltages and different styles of capacitors, and I'm still experimenting with that. I'm probably a little close to the limit in terms of the voltage requirements. I think you can pump up to 22 volts through into the LM386N-4. I didn't go past 15 here though because of some of the limits on the capacitors that I used, but I am interested to try a higher voltage and different types of capacitors to see what effect it has, both on the voltage that I can use, the amount of power I can get out of it, and of course the all-important sound quality. So yeah, that's most of the components on there now. It's just putting the 10K potentiometers on, and the female header for that I'm using for the speaker, and another one which I'm using for power. So that's the finished product, and you can see hilariously that I didn't really judge the distance between the potentiometers very well. So with that particular size knob, and I'm hoping to find some smaller ones, yeah, you can't put the bass on. So that's not great. Something for perhaps future variations on this board. But the all important question is, how does it go when you fire it up? Just fiddling here with all the various controls. Including now the voltage. Pretty good sound. I'm pretty happy with it. From a clapped out old speaker and a very cheap op amp. Nice work, PCB way. So yeah, we'll call a halt on that non-copyrighted music. I'm actually pretty stoked by that build, and as I said, I'll probably try a few different variations on a theme, and looking forward to having a good old play with that one, and filling the house with music. See you next time.